is a real renaissance man of greyhound racing. Having a hand in almost all facets of the sport, his passion was instilled very early in life.
My early recollections go back to the live hare coursing. My father was heavily involved in live hare coursing in those days, like most people were. The circle track was coming into existence, but I had numerous trips to Mount Gambier, to Murray Bridge with my parents. That was life in those days, live hare coursing. It was fantastic. That was where the whole thing started. From there, Lang Lang, an early part of my life. My parents were involved in building Lang Lang. I was obviously there from probably around the ages of 5 or 6, playing in the dirt while they were building the track.
Your dad, an extremely competent trainer in his time. Can you remember some of his better performers?
Dad's success in the coursing was huge, but then moving on to the circle track, he had a lot of winners. Probably the most memorable one would be Fantoma, who was a very good distance dog, very similar to the dog that I've got now.
Lang Lang coursing, you spoke about your passions for Lang Lang coursing. You started there doing all sorts of jobs, but finished up with the responsibility of being the slipper, and it's a very tough job. Tell us about being the slipper at Lang Lang.
You've got to like running, you've got to like wrestling two mad dogs wanting to chase the lure, but something that I can look back on. I really enjoyed it. Come on.
In 2001, Anderton crossed over into the world of officialdom and became a steward.
The experience was good. The job, it involves a lot more than what most people sitting on the side of the fence that I am again now. I don't think you realise how hard and how intense the steward's position actually is. I found it very fulfilling. I would like to still be doing the job. But it didn't suit a lifestyle the way my family is. The property that I've got here, I like the property here. Our life's been greyhounds, and we found that there was the family didn't have an interest anymore because greyhounds have been our life, it's been my life. Pam and I met at a dog track. We met at Cranbourne Dog Track. My kids have both worked at Cranbourne Dog Track. David's still working there now. The greyhounds are our life, and when I was the steward, we didn't have the social side to our family life anymore.
As a trainer, he's come to prominence with top-class staying bitch Distinctive. Owned by his sons, Rob and David, Distinctive has given the Anderton family their biggest thrill in the sport.
Not many people realise the bitch nearly died. She had kidney failure. We nursed her. We literally hand-fed her for, I would say, nearly 3 months. And it took 6 months to get her back to racing. So that on its own, anybody that's involved in greyhounds, everybody heard the story about Boomeroo. I know what they felt. To nurse a dog back from nearly dying, just to win a race was fantastic. But to win the President's Cup, firstly, was a big thrill. The Sydney Cup, to see my younger son David in the catching pen, the emotion he showed, friends jumping fences. Neil, you can't buy that. The cheque was secondary to how good we felt about it.
Here comes Distinctive. Distinctive is going to swamp them, and Distinctive raced away to win the Sydney Cup.
Anderton is hoping another Distinctive is just around the corner with some very well-bred pups.
This little girl's Awesome Assassin out of a bitch called Crazy Habit. Her older sister, Dancing Habit, was in the shootout at Sandown. Probably, I think, one of the best bitches racing in Australia.
No doubt.
I had a brother to her as well, but he unfortunately developed a heart problem, and I had to put him down a couple of weeks ago. But she's a magnificent bitch. I've got big hopes. She's probably only 9 months old. She's a good size. I like her. She's hopefully one of the stars of the future. The other bitch, she's Awesome Assassin as well. She's out of a bitch called Lovely Portrait, who's one of Paul Hogan's breed. Her mother produced Dan's Portrait, which won the Laurels at Sandown last year. She won quite a few races for Linda Britton in Western Australia.
Sure did.
There was another city winner out of the litter as well, the first litter by the name of Disastrous. So she's got the breeding on her side too. Whether they ever show it, she's a lot older. She's probably 12 or 13 months old now. But they're they're probably two of the, hopefully they're my future to take over from Distinctive.
At this stage of his life, Anderton is fairly relaxed about his future.
Yes, Neil, I work as a consultant in quality assurance food safety programs. I only do probably 10 hours a week because, as I said, the reason I left the job as a steward was to enjoy my time here. I love it here. It's God's country. You've looked around. It is a lovely place. I want to sit back, train my dogs, hopefully get a winner, and just enjoy ourselves. I like to sit back and have a look at the grass when it's mowed, have a can of Diet Coke, and that's my enjoyment in life.
Nice story there by Neil Brown, and it is just so typical of the greyhound industry. Paul's parents